All right, going to show off a little bit more in-depth video this time on how to make a replacement door seal out of nylon rope. Of course, nylon is very heat resistant. Dryer's not going to get anywhere near hot enough to affect the rope negatively. And you can buy about 50 feet of it for about 10 bucks, I think is what I paid for it. And kind of the trick here to using it is getting the ends nice and neat without them fraying and having them stick together without having to try to join the ends. I'm going to show you how to do that, make it nice, neat replacement seal that then you just glue on with some E6000. Will hold it in place really well, and it's also a heat resistant glue. Sets pretty fast, about 12 hours you're good to go. So we take our rope, and really you're just going to set this down in here to figure out your length one side all the way to the other. And it helps to kind of hold one side in there and use your fingers to kind of place it in and kind of go around, because it will stretch. Like if you put it in without doing the tracing with your fingers, you're going to hold it up and think it's good. Then when you go to glue it and you start pushing it into the glue, you're going to have like way extra. So you just kind of want to set it in without the glue and kind of push it around a little bit tight and that's how you're going to measure it. It doesn't, if your old one's all tore up, don't try to measure the old one. That's not going to be accurate either. So this works really well. Just place it in there, size it up. Then I'm going to show you how to finish the ends, and then it'll sit in there perfectly with your glue and be a nice tight, nothing floppy, nothing sticking out. I mean, you can see perfect door seal all said and done. You know, for 20 bucks, I can make like 5 or 6 of these. All right, so I don't need to cut a full one off at the moment, so we're just going to cut enough off so I can show you how to bind the ends. And anyway, so we're going to use a little bit of this strapping tape, box tape, whatever you want to call it. Just need about a piece like that, because what we're going to do, once you have measured yours out, I always kind of mark it with a little silver marker or black marker would be fine. Just kind of so you know where your spot is, and I'll put that in the center of my tape, and then I wrap the tape around as tight as I can, have it meet itself here, and then kind of pull it as tight as I can on the one side. Basically what you're trying to do is to get this tape around here just as tight as possible. You see, I didn't put the tape on and wrap it around and then around and around, because that ends up being real loose. This here ends up being super tight, and that's what I'm going for. So I'll grab some scissors and just kind of trim this off the edge here. But next step is you're going to need razor blade, a little torch, and a lighter won't do it. Needs to be a little butane torch, and then a pair of pliers, like so. These 3 items are what you need next. All right, now what we're gonna do is take you would have your little black mark on there, which I didn't do on this one, but I'm gonna hit it just right in the middle of this piece of tape here. And so we're gonna take our butane torch, really gonna hit this. You see it heating up really good, and it'll just glide right through. Okay, and you want to go straight down with it. Boom, and then I'll just pull that away. And so what that gives us is a really fine edge. That's the purpose of the tape. Now, once this cools off, I'm going to let it cool for just a sec. You pull tape off, and no big deal. Okay, so now, say you've done that on both sides. Now you have 2 nice, non-frayed edges. Okay, so now yours would obviously be way longer, but you would take your ends. Okay, so nice, non-frayed edges here, but how do we get them together? No, you don't glue them together. You don't tape them together. That'll look like crap and it won't hold. And you want this to be solid. So when you have your long piece, you want it to be rock solid. So maybe this is where you would need this butane torch in particular, but what this will allow me to do, hit that, and then this is like a little hold button. So that's gonna rock and roll all on its own. And now what I'm gonna do is, it'd be obviously a lot easier to do with a longer rope, But you're just going to take this and go on the sides and just warm it up. Okay, so now I really got a chance to, I did a much better job that time. And you get better with practice, especially if you're not trying to do it around a tripod. It's a lot easier. But once that fully dries, that's not coming back apart. And so how resistant is this rope? Well, since this is a little test piece anyway, I don't know how hot this gets, but obviously it gets really, really hot. So let's turn this down to just a, well, let's see, a flame, right? We can turn that down a little bit. Just do a normal flame and see how this readjusts. That's pretty heat resistant. Obviously that is a direct flame, so if we're over here, oh, and you can't even see what I'm doing. Trying not to catch my garage on fire. Nice, super resistant rope here. I'm just trying to show off the fact that the rope is super heat resistant. Someone left a comment one time and said, that rope's not going to hold up to the heat of a dryer. Well, there you go, folks. Super resistant to heat, as you can see. Good to go. And now that, I'll say it's not too bad. So how strong is it now? Good to go. All right, and so now you'd set that in your glue like I showed in the other video, and you're good to go.